Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is mold. Yeah, mold on our food. If you see mold on food that's been lingering in your fridge, sometimes cutting away the moldy part does not resolve the problem. And I know that a lot of us will cut it off the bread and we're like, it's fine, it's fine. But there's a good chance that the mold has grown deeper into the food than you think. All right, the roots, literally, the roots of the mold often expand further into many foods than what we can see. So, is the moldy food dangerous? Not always, but there are some moldy foods that we can actually salvage and some that you should discard immediately. All right. And I want to talk about this because, hang on, let me put my drink down. Because being as though we are more than likely going to be coming into some hard times, okay, I want to talk about this because we're going to have to be getting down to bare bones, especially when it comes to our pantries and stuff like that. And, you know, you know, making dinners from leftovers and things like that. And sometimes we'll be like, oh, I forgot this was in the fridge. And we'll open up the Tupperware and we'll be like, I completely forgot this was even in there, that type of thing. So here are some foods that are not okay to eat moldy. All right. Firm fruits and veggies. Okay. Now, they are okay to eat moldy. All right. Firm fruits and veggies are still safe to eat as long as you remove the moldy spot. All right. Now, these include like apples, bell peppers, cabbage, carrots, some pears, potatoes, turnips. Okay, now let's get into the cheeses, okay? Because I know a lot of us, you'd be like, well, cheese is mold. All right, just hang on. Certain cheeses, similar to firm fruits and veggies, hard cheeses will resist the spread of mold that would contaminate other foods. So, cutting away at least 1 inch around and below the moldy spot and discarding that. Okay, so let's keep that in mind the next time we were like, I forgot I had block cheese, and we were like, oh, there's mold on that. You know what I mean? So make sure also that your knife does not come into contact with that mold. All right. Also, an unopened vacuum sealed pack of cheese can last in your fridge for up to 6 months. Yeah, so keep that in mind as well. Also, certain hard and cured meats. Okay, because I know a lot of us buy those. So, there are a few types of meat where mold is part of the deal. Okay, dry cured country hams, hard salamis automatically have a white surface mold. Okay, this benign mold is added to the outside of the meat because it helps cure the meat and provides a protective coating that keeps the salami safe from bacteria. I know you're thinking mold, bacteria, mold, bacteria. What's the difference? Trust me, it's fine. Okay. So here are moldy foods that you need to discard immediately. Okay. Bread and pastry. I know you're probably going to be like, no, listen, shh, quiet. Okay. So, the porous nature of bread and baked goods is especially conducive, yeah, to the spread of mold. Okay, please discard them immediately. It usually takes 5 days or so for mold to grow on bread, but you'll want to take extra precaution for bread baked at home. Why? There's no preservatives in those breads. So they're going to grow mold faster than breads that we buy in store, right on? Since homemade bread is made, like I said, with fewer preservatives than the store-bought variety, it will grow mold much, much faster. Unless you're like us with the prepared mind. We make our bread, we seal the deal, and we throw it in the freezer, right? So, also, cold cuts and lunch meat. If your bacon, your hot dogs, your sliced cold cuts, or your poultry have mold on them, the contamination has likely spread below the surface. Yeah. So, throw it out. You can avoid it by freezing your cold cuts and your deli meats. And all deli meats can be frozen for about 2 months. Yeah. As long as you prepare and you wrap them properly to preserve their texture and their moisture content. But we all have food savers, right? So, excuse you. Goku. You don't go in my bathroom. No, sir. Puppy. Yeah. Anyway, so you can also freeze roasted turkey, ham, and chicken, but well, that's what you get, sir. I swear this puppydom. I can't take it anymore. But excuse me. But anyway, so you can also freeze roasted turkey and ham and chicken. And I do this. I always buy in bulk, especially with my crew of 8. I always buy in bulk. And I divide everything up. And then I use my food saver and I put everything in the freezer. Okay. But they might be slightly wet upon defrosting, which is fine. It's not going to hurt anything. And you can freeze lunch meats in large pieces or slices, but you need to discard them once mold becomes visible, okay? Because it's just gross. Because like I said, the roots, they get down where you can't see, okay? So just keep that in mind. Cooked casseroles, grain, and pasta. I know you wouldn't think, but it's so true. So leftover cooked casserole, grains, meats, pastas, poultries are considered by the USDA as foods with high moisture content that may be contaminated below their surface. So how I'm going to explain this is, okay, you know how you have a root ball, okay? And that root ball is what you can see on the surface. Okay, that root ball, and that is where you see the mold. Okay, now imagine that root ball having fingers, right? Because that's how it branches out and it grows. Okay, that's how it branches out, and you can't actually see how far it goes into the food. Okay, think of it that way, a root ball. Okay, so moldy leftover cooked food may also have bacteria growing along with the mold. So please discard them. It's only for your own safety, for your own health, for your belly, because you don't want to deal with that. So here's another one, jams and jellies. The mold that you find on jams and jellies could produce mycotoxin, and that's mycotoxin. Please just don't scoop it out and then start using it. It's not a good idea, okay? It will make you sick, all right? The next one is nuts and legumes. The USDA warns that nuts and legumes have an especially high risk of developing mold because they are not processed with preservatives, okay? Soft or shredded cheeses, fresher, soft cheeses, and cheeses made with unpasteurized milk go bad quicker. And they are best avoided by people with weakened immune systems, like older adults, pregnant women, infants, and young children. The softer, more liquid nature of these cheeses can facilitate the spread of mold and bacteria. All right. And if you're not sure what type of cheese you have or what to do if it does grow mold, the safest course is just please throw it out. All right. The next one is sour cream and yogurts. These foods with high moisture content may be contaminated with mold which has a difficult to see thin thread-like branches and roots, like I was talking about the root ball, okay, with the little branches that come out, all right, and that'll be below the surface. Do not sniff, for the love of God, do not sniff the mold item, all right, as it can cause respiratory trouble. Please don't put your nose, be like, and does it smell all right? Please don't do that, all right. Put a small paper bag or put it or wrap it in plastic and throw it in the trash, all right. This way the kids and the animals can't get to it, okay. All right, I just wanted to put this kind of stuff out there because these are the kind of questions that I get asked a lot, and I think that it's important that we have this discussion, okay. All right guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.